Hey guys, so I'm going to talk to you around meal timing. Is it better to have multiple meals or one big meal or fewer meals or like whatever? So I've had a few questions around that. So let's touch on that subject. So with nutrition as a whole, it doesn't necessarily matter how you eat your food. So if you wanted to have like a breakfast, for instance, and then wait all the way up until dinner and have a big dinner, that's fine. If you just wanted to fast all day and then just have all your calories in one sitting, that is also fine. What you will find though is, especially when you come into like a calorie deficit, or just like if you're trying to just generally maintain it, starving yourself for that one meal a day isn't going to be the most effective way to do things, and it's probably more likely that you would fail the process. So personally, this would be how I would do it, is I would split my meals into smaller meals throughout the day. So my protein target roughly is around sort of 250 grams, and I want to look to hit around 40 to 50 grams of protein per meal. So I'm looking at 5 to 6 meals a day, with that protein target split across those 6 meals. For me, that works really well because all the protein that I get in each meal satisfies my hunger cravings. So I like to break it down like that, so into like 6 or 5 like small feedings. Sometimes life does get in the way and I can't do that, so it doesn't matter. So some days I might, have my 5 meals. Other days I might only have 2 proper meals, but there'll be like a few snacks and that here in the day. Realistically, it doesn't matter when you eat your food and in what kind of quantity. There are studies like performance based, so if you were going down like the performance route and you wanted to get like the edge on like your competitors or whatever, then it does make sense to break your food and split it into fewer more meals during the day. There are some studies that say that our body is better at using, say, like 30 to 50 grams of protein per sitting than using 100 grams. You're more likely, if you were trying to build muscle, 30 to 50 grams of protein per serving is going to be way more beneficial for muscle growth than sort of big sittings of like 100 grams of protein. There's no rules also around like eating late at night or whatever. You got to think, when you go to sleep, does your body die? Your body doesn't die. Your body still works as normal, and it's still going to break down that food. In fact, it may break it down better because you're not doing anything else while you're sleeping other than just lying there. So as a conclusion to like all of that, how many meals should you eat a day? That's completely up to you. I would find a happy medium. I wouldn't personally suggest starving yourself and then having 1 meal a day. I would like to have at least 3 to 5 meals a day, maybe with a couple of snacks thrown in. Ultimately, that's probably how it's going to be easier to manage like your calorie deficit. There is another thing that you can do to help manage your calorie deficit if your like food is lower, because ultimately when we're in a calorie deficit, we're trying to still eat the same food volume, but it does get harder as you get lower. So I would just push your breakfast back a couple of hours if you can, and then your whole day kind of shifts back a couple of hours, and then you'll help your hunger cravings through that. So yeah, it doesn't really matter when and how like you eat your food. You can do that however you want. I can only advise you on ways that would make just make it easier for you to stick to the plan long term. So yeah, eat little and often, eat protein with every meal, and drink lots of water. I hope that helps.